Alright guys, so after quite a bit of frustration and experimentation, I have figured out, obviously, how to change these indicators from the standard one to the tail tidy. Now, like I said before, I could not figure out how to get these things out, and I had a look online. I couldn't honestly find much, so a bit of experimentation, and thankfully I figured it out without breaking them. I didn't want to just yank them because, you know, that wouldn't be the smart thing to do. So I thought, because I couldn't find much online, I would do this to show you guys and hopefully be a bit of help there. So I've left the right hand one on. What we've got in here, and I'll do my best to show you guys this, is some rubber clips that go on the sides there. So what you do is you pry the rubber clips back. There's one on either side, and for that you're going to need a pick or a little bar or something just to make your life easier. This is going to be tricky on film, but that's the back one and the front one, and then that gives you space to get this annoying little clip off. So he slides off over the wiring. This is much easier with two hands. Okay, like so. Now that's all this is, just this little clip, and these two tangs on the side are what go into the reliefs there. Hopefully you can see that. Now that was pretty straightforward to figure out. This is the bit I really struggled with, because if you look at that as it is, and you guys probably aren't going to see a heck of a lot, there's no, you know, clear bolt or anything that seems like it would actually hold these on. And if you just give them a yank, there's nothing that sort of moves. Now what I didn't realize, and I actually found this by accident, is that on the inside of this, might be easy with my finger, if you give it a bit of a wiggle to loosen it up, not going to see it on film, but there's a ridge that does appear, and that's because there's actually a plastic cone inside these rubber bits. So hopefully I can fish this out. There we go. So there we go, same thing again, slide it over the wiring, and that's the cone. So that slides inside that bit in there, which again you guys probably aren't going to see so well, but you know, we'll do our best. And that just slides in, and I don't know, it must give it some rigidity or something. But once you've got that out, you can just push that rubber tag in, and the whole thing will pop out like so. Now guys, that was a bloody nightmare. I will admit that that wasn't the most straightforward of things, but the reverse of it for installation, obviously we'll put it in that. But you just slide that guy back over. Hopefully I can show you this a bit easier when it's out. He drops in, and then you will basically push that down flush with the rubber, and then the retaining clip goes over the top of everything, and he just clicks into space like so. That's not exactly right, but those little tangs will just clip into that recess there, and obviously that pinches it in against the plastic of this guy. So yeah, that was an absolute nightmare to figure out. Bit of luck, bit of educated guessing, but we got there in the end, thankfully. This is going to be a nightmare to get back out again. There we go. So yeah, installing, it's just as I mentioned. Feed the wiring through, squish that rubber body, and it will, with a little bit of persuasion, try and do that narrow side first. There we go. It will eventually locate itself in, and there we go. So you could potentially use a bit of rubber grease or something on that, but I didn't really feel the need. So that's got that in. Right, now it's that cone for the inside of it. So straight over the wiring. It's an annoying little tag telling you what it is. He slides home, bit of pressure down to make sure it's flush with that surface, and then we'll do the same with the retaining clip. Over the wiring, over the tag. Now with this one it's probably easier to try and get the rear tang in, just because there's not a heck of a lot of room there. And once you've got that, pull the rubber forward, get that wire out of your way, pull that rubber forward. It should, if you've got everything right, click into space just like so. Just going to use that pick to make sure the rear one's where it needs to be, which it is. And there we go. That's got those back where they need to be. Yeah, that was a nightmare, but that's done now, so that's a little win, and we can move forward with building the rest of the bike.